Sit down.
Thank you very much for welcoming us this morning, and we appreciate the time that His Majesty is going to give us to listen to us for some few minutes. So I want to thank you once again for that. So coming from KNUST with our collaborators from Aalto University and from Aalto University, Finland, and our visit here actually is part of, we have, as part of His Majesty's 25th anniversary, we wanted to do something a bit different, and one of the things that I want to do is about greening Kumasi. So we've been coming here, we've been having discussion with Nana Pejahini, and we've done some surveys and all that. So this morning, our purpose here is to come and inform and get His Majesty's blessing on what we intend to do and to showcase it next year. So that's the main purpose why we are here. So Nana. Okay. So my name is Esme Manfo, Professor Esme Manfo. I'm from the International Programs Office, KNUST. And this is Dr. Alex Manfo from Architecture Department. And this is Professor Apia, Francis Apia from Horticulture Department. And this is Professor Saya Humen from Aalto University. And this is Professor Tao from Aalto University, Finland. So please, this is a small token from Finland, and then the project that's the proposal is also pictures of that here. So we would like to give that one to you. Thank you very much.
Your Majesty, with your permission, my name is Saija Holme. I'm a professor at Aalto University in Finland, and I come here as a friend of KNUST, and me and my team, Aalto University and KNUST, have prepared a proposal, and we're here, as said, to be asking for the blessing from the King and the Asantene himself, and we're very honored to have this occasion and being welcomed by the King himself. So my deepest respect and greetings from the cold Finland. We also want to acknowledge His Majesty's role as the Chancellor of KNUST, hence the friendship between Aalto and both universities. Aalto and KNUST have signed a memorandum of understanding this year on Valentine's Day in February, which has established a 5-year collaboration between the institutions. So as part of that collaboration, last March, we embarked on an endeavor with 120 students, both KNUST and Aalto students, for an open survey. The book Professor Esme just gave is recounting the Aalto University students' experiences from the field trip. And the reason why we're here, we're conveying a message from the people of Kumasi, whom we encountered through our survey on the field, through investigation, our own observations, interviews, and notions that we did. We saw Kumasi as a beautiful city, but without no trees. And we know that as the Queen Elizabeth herself named Kumasi as the Garden City of West Africa a long time ago, that it used to be a wonderful site of luxurious gardens and wonderful trees providing shade and livability for its people. They're no longer there. Not that the image of the city as a garden would have disappeared. People still seem to cherish it in their hearts. They have the garden in their minds, in their hearts, in their memories, and they're missing the trees. Now we acknowledge and we are aware that there are many projects that have been undertaken by the King himself and the Ghanaian government also for regreening the entire Ghana and also the city of Kumasi. And we acknowledge the personal involvement of His Majesty as well in planting the trees. But also what maybe has been missing so far is a long-term maintenance strategy. So we are here today to propose a project because we want to make sure that his effort is not wasted, that his vision for the green Kumasi would live on as his long-term legacy, and that he would be remembered as a trailblazer and a visionary for a green, sustainable garden city. We call it Kumasi Trees, the project of the hearts. And we are suggesting that this legacy of the Asantehene would be created by creating ownership, by connecting to the cultural identities of the people in Kumasi. The reason the trees have not been survived is because people didn't own them. They were not maintained, and they were not cared for enough to give them life that would be long-lasting. So our proposal is a strategy to celebrate His Majesty's 25 years in reign. We would suggest, if he would so choose, and if he would bless the idea, that he would choose 25 designated communities, be that individuals, families, or companies, according to his wish, 25 communities who have been his partners throughout his 25 years in reign, and that he would choose, in partnership, 25 areas that these designated communities would look into. Those could be stretching across the airport corridor. They could be neighborhoods around the Manhia Palace, according to his wishes. He could assign his chiefs. He could assign other communities that he would see best. But these 25 would collaborate with KNUST, his university, where resides technical expertise, also in collaboration with other university and the departments of forestry and horticulture, the community, the technical departments of the city and the palace, and all stakeholders he would see fit as a spark for local collaboration to really establish a long-lasting legacy of his rule as the Asantehene. Next year, the celebration year would be the year for establishment, and with his blessing, which we're seeking today, we would start the initial planning phase with university faculties and students, and in April next year we could present an exhibition where we would have initial designs and initial plan for implementation and for the maintenance of a cultural strategy, how to embed this project into the hearts and minds of the people, into the cultural heritage, into the local cultural identities of people, to create a lasting legacy of the Asantehene. Thank you.
Joe.
Just find time to go through and then come up with my comments. But I'm seeing what Kumasi is now, and it's a bit embarrassing. Thank you very much for this laudable project that I'm hearing now, green in Ghana. Yes, it used to be the garden city, but now it is not.
Joe.
So we still live in that fantasy of garden city, even though people even don't appreciate that cutting a tree affects the life of a human being.
Sure.
So we've lived in that, and there hasn't been any suspicion, the supervision or something. You've had people cutting trees that have been there for years.
Sure.
And all that because it's blocking the view of something, and therefore they want to cut it.
Sure.
And that's where we find ourselves now. For you now, even in mining now, we've degenerated all our lands, for example, and we have lands that we cannot use now unless we take steps to redeem them by getting planted again, and trees and everything.
Sure.
The whole idea is to educate people to appreciate that the last tree dies and the human being also dies, which we don't appreciate. And therefore, these are all something that I think if we're going to do the greening, we would add up in terms of education for people to appreciate that. But other than that, we would plant the trees and they will still cut them.
John.
I planted some trees down here behind that vast one there. About 22 years ago when I came and when I was here, only about 2 years, then I decided to plant. People didn't even appreciate that.
John.
But we had to. I got the forestry commission, everybody to do it. Now, sometime I realized that people are in there cutting the trees.
John.
And no one has bothered even within the palace to check what people are doing there. See, so that is where we are. Even that I did. When they wanted to build a house there, and then I got the architects to go there, I insisted that I didn't want them to cut any tree. They should plan around them.
John.
Even though we are doing a construction there. They literally had to come to me to beg to say that we have to cut 1 or 2 trees from there. And I said, so is there no mechanism where we can uproot that and plant it somewhere?
Sure.
This also we don't. But in some jurisdictions, you cannot touch a tree at all. In my own house in London, you can't. You have to report and for them to come and inspect before and see the state of the tree before you can touch it, even though it's within your own house.
Sure.
So that is the predicament that we have here. That I don't think we even understand greening as it is. We have to intensify our education. So thanks to them, for example, who will be here after you've gone. This partnership is something that I would support and cherish for us to continue to do this greening, which would inure to the benefit of all of us. Apart from the beauty that we talk about. Previously, the roundabouts everywhere was green, beautiful, trees were all over. And yet now, we don't have them.
John.
And therefore, it's something that we all have to take it serious. So identifying 25 communities, we are going to do that. We will have to identify the communities and then plant it before next year, April.
John.
So we would have to, I don't know what Apejahin have discussed with you, but if you have discussed, have you identified the communities yet? Or you have
Not yet.
So we have to. And I think I also had, I'm a community doing some planting around the lake, where also people were, what was happening there? They were building and everything closer to the lake they couldn't be bothered about. Owabe, where we get our source of water. People have built to Niela, so we can't even get the water as it was. So if you dredge and it's still the silts because of human activity there. Barikesi Dam is also the same. And these are all things that we don't take we take for granted, we don't think about. So with this project, starting with the collaboration here, I think it will go furthermore.
Sure.
So I will need your support from Finland to the team here, because I think we will need to take it further after having done this, because there's more for us to do. I'll go through this, I'll see what you are proposing, what you've seen, and I would collaborate with them. But initially, identify the 25 communities to start. We will do that jointly for us all to be involved before we go further.
Sure.
Apejahin will be the contact person now that you do. And then Amakumne did some, so he would have an experience with that, so we could identify. So he will join him to join you, and then we can do that. So we thank you for coming to assist my university for us to do this laudable project. But it's something that we cherish and it's so dear to our heart, and we all have to take it serious for us to be able to do it. Finland has done it, and therefore I can't see why we cannot do it, even though we are behind. But we will catch up with your support.
Sure.
And these are dedicated men and women who are all very genuinely sincere to do something. We don't give them the credit actually. Well, they sit in the university with all the professors, and we only think about those who have money to do business, not the professors.
Sure.
They are the ones that are doing the helping the development of the country. So I thank you for collaborating with them, and we will give you all the support necessary. Thank you very much.
Majesty, thank you very much. Please, if you will convey to His Majesty that we thank him very much. His blessing has made our day, going to make our year, as a matter of fact. So we will not want to disappoint him. We will go straight to the drawing table again with the Nana Pijahini's support. He's been supporting us. I've been told he's even feeding the students. So he's been doing that for us. Now that we have another chief on board, I think our students will be happy. So we want to say very, very big thank you, and we want to ask for permission to leave.